What's up, guys? Pippy here, and welcome to episode 22 of my road to Manchester City. We're starting off this episode by taking a look at our transfer list. We have sold a bunch of cards, and those cards are mainly League One and Pro League, and that is because there was a new squad builder challenge, one for Lacazette and one for a Pro League player that I forgot his name. And this challenge required you to have every single team from that league, and that obviously is going to increase the prices of the silver players especially. And I said, you know what, let's take advantage of that. I'm probably never going to do the challenges because I don't want those players because they're not City players. So we went ahead, cashed out, made some very nice money, but that wasn't the only time we would try and make some money, because I did go ahead and pick up an Inform Pedro, as you saw right there, for 49,000 coins. Now, my thought process behind that was, he's a solid right wing in the Premier League. There's not too many of those. He's a Chelsea player, which might drive his price up because everybody's expecting a Hazard Player of the Month. So I said, you know what, 40,000 coins is not too much. If he does end up going down and I lose money, I don't think it'll be that much. So we're going to hold on to him and see what happens with that. So got us a nice little Inform investment. I think that's like the first one we've done so far in this series, which is nice because if you guys remember last year, investing in Informs was a small part of my trading process to making all the coins that we ended up making last year. So hopefully I can bring that back a little bit, even though I've been kind of neglecting trading that much because I've been playing so much of FUT Champions, which rewards us so well. And speaking of FUT Champions, we're going to go ahead and jump into a game. So you saw our team right there. It is a 4-3-2-1, and obviously that is a change of formation. Since last episode, we ended up playing, at the end of that last episode, a game in Division 9, which if we won, we got the title. We ended up winning it, but I played that game in a 4-1-2-1-2 formation, and I actually started FUT Champions with the 4-1-2-1-2 because it was going well for me with that formation last weekend and through divisions. So I started off with it, but I lost 2 games or so, and I'm like, I kind of feel like it's the formation and not me, even though that's not necessarily true half the time. So I ended up switching to the 4-3-2-1, a formation I played with before and I didn't really like. But for some reason this time around, I enjoyed it and it ended up working pretty well enough that I ended up playing the rest of my FUT Champions games, all 40 of them, with that formation. So is it going to be the formation I use all year? I have no idea, but so far it's working and I'm going to keep using it because if it works, why would I change it? So we'll see what happens with that. But we jump into a game over here, and so far we've had 2 chances already to score. Our opponent has a chance over here to score. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to. Butland also making his return over Bravo, because I did mention before that Bravo was making way too many mistakes for my liking. But Butland is definitely a culprit of that too, because he made some mistakes throughout this run of FUT Champions that really, really annoyed me. And I was on the edge of buying Lloris, but I said, you know what? Think of the times Butland has come in clutch and forget the mistakes he's made. Just think about it. So that's what I did. Kept Butland, stuck with him. Even though I think I did bring back Bravo for 2 or 3 games just because he was pissing me that much. Butland, but I had to bring Butland back because obviously in FUT Champions, there's going to be a lot of times where you end up going to penalties. Well, I go to penalties a lot. And Bravo is just not a goalkeeper you want in that when it comes to a penalty shootout. He is way too short, and height, honestly, plays a big role in penalty shootouts, in my opinion. So that is why I wanted Butland in there. Not only is he a pretty good goalkeeper for his price, but he is way taller. Well, not way taller, but he's taller than Bravo, which is very important in that penalty shootout. But over here, we end up scoring with Schneiderlin, and our opponent scores an amazing goal from Bakambu, well known for scoring curlers into the top right corner for Villarreal every single weekend. So that didn't surprise me right there. And at that point, we're tied 1-1. I paused it straight off a kickoff. I said, you know what? It's time for a change. We need a more well-rested player, because Remy was a little bit tired right there, and I wasn't starting Rashford, which was something I did a lot in the past, and the reason for that is because of his strength. Like, I tried putting a chemistry style on Rashford that gave him more strength, but it just wasn't working. He is way too weak, and that goal, by the way, Jesus Christ. This game is a really good example of like all the things that are, I don't know if it's wrong with FIFA, but like a lot of problems in FIFA. Counterattacks, weird goals like the one I just scored. I literally passed it to the goalkeeper with Sane, which if I didn't score, I would have been so mad because Sane should have scored that. But he did score it, but it was in such a bad way. It doesn't really matter anyways, though, because Bakambu does equalize it right off a kickoff. And that's another thing in FIFA. Like, once you score, don't get cocky. Well, I guess if you're good enough, you could get cocky, but don't get cocky if you're not that great, because you're most vulnerable when as soon as you score. So that is something I learned right there, and it does end up happening to me a few times where I concede right off a kickoff, and it's really infuriating. So once you score, get ready and defend, because odds are your opponent's going to go on the attack and try to score immediately after he conceded. So that was something I definitely learned throughout this run. And in the 90th minute over here, what do you know? A counterattack. Sane over here holding up the play a little bit, ends up giving it to Sterling. Sterling to Sane. Sane to Musa, our substitute. Finesses it around Begovic, makes it 3-2, and grabs us the decisive goal in this game to end up winning us the game. And as you see right there, I went and parked the bus, and I don't normally do that. I tend to only do it after like the 80th minute, sometimes even after the 85th minute when I have a 1-goal lead, because I really, really hate going to extra time and especially penalties. So I would like to hold on to that 1-goal lead that I have. Go park the bus. You guys might see it as sweaty. I can see why you would see it sweaty, but it honestly could be a lot worse. Like, there's some people that go park the bus straight off a kickoff, but that's a whole nother topic. So we end up winning that game. And after 10 games, that was our 10th game, by the way, that put us at 7-3, which isn't a bad start considering like all the other weekend leagues that we've done. I've either gone like 6-4 after 10 games, or 5-5, or something like that. So that wasn't a bad start. Could have been better, obviously, had I won some of the games I lost. But it is what it is. I'm never going to go 40-40, so I have to expect the losses. And we go ahead and open a bunch of silver 2-player packs, and you're probably wondering, where are these packs coming from? Well, I went ahead and did a bunch of, well, not a bunch, I did 3 bronze upgrades. I said, you know what? I made sure it was like bronze players that are never going to be useful, or if they are useful, they're not going to go for anything. Bronze players in general don't tend to go for much, even when they're a squad builder challenge. Sometimes they do, but most of the time they don't. So I got rid of like the League 2 players, the 4th League of England, the 3rd League of England, players that I can never see going up. So that is what I sacrificed for the bronze upgrade. I went ahead and opened those silver packs. I didn't get any League 1 ones, or MLS, or Liga NOS, or what's the other league? Pro League. But we did get some pretty big leagues. I think we got a Leicester player, so that's Premier League. We also got was it a Bundesliga one, I think, that we got, or a La Liga? Those leagues, while they're not important right now, if EA continue this pattern of doing a player every like month or so, those silver players are going to be worth something. And while they are untradeable, if we ever do want to do the challenge, I don't know why I would, we have them as untradables. So that's not too bad, I guess. Got to look at the positive and everything at this point in FIFA. And over here, I went ahead and bought those silver premium player packs that were in the store for 5,000 coins. And I said, you know what? I feel like taking a gamble. Let's take a gamble over here. Let's go ahead and open up 6 of these, which would mean that we are spending around 30,000 coins because each one is 5,000. Yes, I'm amazing at math. Thank you. And if worst case scenario, we get absolutely no one, everybody goes for 200 coins, and we end up losing about 28,000 coins, which is a lot. But best case scenario, we get some players that are worth a lot, and we can make some nice money. So I think it was worth the risk to put 30,000 coins, especially considering how much money we have. I'm not saying that I'm super rich or anything, but I think 400,000 coins in this point in FIFA is a pretty healthy amount of coins. So I said, you know what, let's go put 30,000 coins, not too much, and see what we end up getting. And we did end up getting a few players that were worth a little bit, not too much. We do get an MLS player, we get some Pro League players, we get some League One ones. So it wasn't that bad. We go ahead and open up the third pack, and the MLS and Pro League ones that don't sell, that go for like less than 1,000 coins, I just store them in the club just in case I ever do end up doing them. The only reason I would see myself doing those, by the way, are if I am pretty close to completing them and I want the pack. So that right there, we go ahead and do a little quick trade right there. I was checking this guy's price because we just packed him, and I saw one for like 1,000 coins cheaper. So I said, you know what? I'll buy both. Well, I'll buy that one and have both. I'll list one up and make a little bit of coin on it. Sell it for 1.5. I think he does end up selling for 1.52. Send that one to the transfer list, and then I wait for the other one to sell, just so it's not like too crowded and it doesn't end up selling. But yeah, I thought this was worth the risk. I saw some people getting some really crazy stuff. Like if you get a shiny or a rare, whatever you want to call it, or common, or I don't even know what they're called, player from one of the required leagues, you can make some really nice money. Like I think there's a point in one of these packs where I do get somebody worth like 9,000 to 10,000 coins, which right there is profit because the pack is only worth 5,000 coins. And if you don't, that's another thing, by the way. If you don't get anybody good, let's say you spend 30,000 coins a guy did on these packs, and you end up getting like nobody from League One, or nobody from the MLS, or nobody from the Portuguese League, or nobody from the Pro League, you're going to be like, wow, that was a waste. I just lost 30,000 coins. Well, you're right and you're wrong, because at the moment, yeah, you lost 30,000 coins, but if you store all those clubs, assuming you get like a Bundesliga guy, or a La Liga guy, or a Serie A guy at silver, that guy in the future might be worth something. That's the guy right there that I was talking about, by the way, that goes for 9,400 coins. Was pretty happy with that pack. Also, by the way, I did end up packing like a Sydney player once or twice, which was just so frustrating because obviously of the Del Piero challenge, and it's gone, and now he's not worth, those cards aren't worth anything. But yeah, like I was saying, if you open these packs and get like a Bundesliga, Serie A, La Liga, hold it on, because you never know, in the future those cards might go for like 10 times the amount they're worth now, which is just crazy. And I really like this about EA, that what they're doing with the squad builder challenges, but it does have its negatives. I guess if you don't have any of the players and you don't hoard, you have to spend a lot of money for a reward that usually isn't worth it, so I can see why it's bad there. But these packs were pretty nice and refreshing. I would have never opened silver packs had this not come out, so I think it was a little bit of a change of pace. Anyways, that's the end of the episode. Sorry. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is PibbyDeed, and I'm out.